Hey guys, alright, welcome back to the GOAT series. Alright, and we're gonna look at my boy Manny Pacquiao. Alright, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, full disclaimer, this guy is my favorite fighter of all time. I'm not gonna lie. Alright, why? Because this guy is, I've never seen anything like this, honestly. I've never seen it. I mean, yo, even if he was, sorry for my fans, hey, I'm a big Pacquiao fan, but even if he was taking drugs, man, he I'm I mean I've still never seen anything like that. Enough guys was taking, even Mosley was taking drugs, but nobody did what Pacquiao did, man. And I can't even guarantee this boy was juicing or not, you know what I mean? So yo, listen here, man. Let me tell you why Pacquiao's my boy, yo. Okay, this boy is moving up from, like, I think below bantamweight. To be honest, I don't know what he was fighting at in the Philippines. All I know is that this fight here, Ledwaba Pacquiao, this breakout fight, he was fighting bantamweight, right? And that boy moved up from, like, below bantamweight all the way up to middleweight, beating up on Margarito. Okay, all right. So that's basically starting from like 120, 120 pounds, right? I'm moving up all the way up to like 160. All right, that's crazy. That's crazy. Okay, I mean, to be honest, I'm gonna show you three fights here, right? Obviously, the Marquez fight, the second fight, that's my favorite fight, to be honest. My favorite Pacquiao fight, and then after that, I'm gonna show you. Actually, maybe the Barrera fight was nicer, yo. But after that, I'm gonna show you the Diaz fight. Okay, David Diaz. You guys probably forgot about him. That boy was a lightweight champion. He was actually, like, a few guys were ducking him and all that. Pacquiao came and dismantled this boy, yo. All right. And that, to be honest, when he won that lightweight thing, I didn't even think he would have moved up to welterweight after that. After he beat that boy at lightweight, I'm like, this boy's the king. I've never seen another fighter like Pacquiao. He like convinced me on a whole nother level that he was already a GOAT. Right? And that's before the welterweight fights. Alright, so let me show you something about Pacquiao. Let me show you. So Ledwaba fight, this is the first fight we're gonna look at. Right? It's gonna be round 2. You're just gonna need to see one round of this. I gotta show you this Ledwaba fight. It's so important. This is such a big, it's the opening chapter of Pacquiao's career for me, man. I mean, the first fight I saw about from Pacquiao was the Barrera fight, I think, right? And I had to go back to watch this Ledwaba fight. Yo, he just does the same things over and over again. These guys just can't handle it. They know what's coming. They can't handle it. Pacquiao's just too much. He's too much punching power, yo. He's too much energy, yo. Right? And he does so many things wrong. Okay, so let me tell, before we get into this fight, real quick, let me tell you why Pacquiao is special, okay? He does everything wrong, and he still does it the right way. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's unexplainable. I can't even do a boxing analysis on Pacquiao. I'll do my best. I'm gonna give you guys some. I mean, it's not. You shouldn't do this, okay? That's what I'm trying to say. You shouldn't do this. Whatever you see Pacquiao do not do. Okay? But I gotta show you why he's a GOAT. Okay? And he's just too unconventional, and it works, man. It works. So he's a GOAT. Alright? Okay. So let's get into this Ledwaba fight. Alright, so this is round 2 of the Ledwaba fight. Okay? Ledwaba's getting ready to have another tornado come at him. He wasn't ready for this one. He's supposed to fight somebody else, He's like, oh, little Pacquiao boy, 2 weeks notice, light boy, have to move up to fight me. He's small. I can handle him. I'm a superior boxer. All right. So this is something. Let me tell you one thing quick. All right. This is something about Pacquiao that frustrates me. All right. I mean, it frustrates me because I could imagine what's going on in this opponent's head. Okay. This guy is like, okay, we're gonna box, right? Pacquiao always tricks you. He always makes you think we're boxing, right? Look, nice and calm, right? Little jab. No. All of a sudden, this guy jumps on you with 2, 3, 4, maybe 4 really awkward punches and just throws his whole body behind you. So you can't prepare for this. Nobody's gonna do this, okay? And get away with it. That's how much speed, like, in like split seconds, this guy's on you, okay? Nobody could do this, right? And he has power too, so you gotta be scared, right? Be boxing, all of a sudden, boom, boom, right? Like, who throws an uppercut from there? Hook up, who does that? No. And he's throwing his body forward, So and now he's just bouncing on his. So this is what I love about Pacquiao, to be honest. Okay, and this is what actually for me makes him stand out from I think every other fighter that I've ever seen. Right? He for me I call he invented a new type of footwork. This is Pacquiao footwork, yeah. Right? And trust me, if you go through tapes of other fighters, you will never ever see another fighter that uses this type of footwork except Pacquiao. I call this Pacquiao footwork. I've never seen anybody else do it, right? And this is what actually made him, to me, this is what made him special. This footwork is so coordinated with his hands. He can actually throw his whole body weight behind his punch and like still get away with like the incorrect things, the unconventional things. Like you're not supposed to throw your body behind your punch uh, all the time, right? Because you're exposing yourself to getting hit, right? And you've seen what happened. If you guys know about Marquez II, you knew what happened there where Pacquiao did that and he got caught, right? But that's what's supposed to happen, like basically every time you do that against like these superior boxers, right? But he can get away with it because he's so quick on his feet and his hands, and he gets power into his shots and he throws some awkward angles. He just gets away with it, and you're not supposed to. So this is Pacquiao footwork, right? And you gotta watch it, man. It's beautiful. His like just so light on his toes, and the way he bounces in and out and just commits into his punches and his body into his punches. So he's boxing with you again. You think, oh, okay, so we're boxing, right? We're boxing again, right? No, no. Run into a left uppercut. It's crazy, man. All right, so let's finish out this round. Let me tone down my excitement here, all right, and just like give you some real boxing analysis and not a whole Pacquiao hype train. Okay. All right, so Pacquiao, what's kind of beautiful? I'm gonna rewind that a bit. But what's a bit beautiful about Pacquiao is that there's a lot of intelligence in these punches. He doesn't throw random combinations. Okay, he's eager to knock you out. To be honest, I call him a knockout artist because he's very eager to knock you out. He's trying to run you into his punches, and that's so smart. So that's why he could just keep coming forward because every punch he's throwing with bad intentions. He wants to knock you out. He's running you into his punches. What do I mean about that? I'm gonna pull this back a bit, right? I mean this onslaught, this 10-second onslaught, right? He's throwing to jab to make the guy lean into the left hand, right? So that's why he could throw that uppercut, right? And when he sets the guy up, when he misses that, he could dip that left hand into the hook, but he's just trying to run this guy into his left hand. That's all he's trying to do. He's trying to run the guy into his left hand, and he's not going to stop until he gets there, right? So that's the one, I think, error in Pacquiao's ways is that it's so, I don't want to say reckless, but it's so like one-minded in terms of he just wants to knock you out, right? That it lacks precision sometimes, right? And it's kind of obvious for the opponent, but it's just basically if the opponent could hold off the onslaught, basically. Most can't, right? Because of the energy levels and the commitment and just the conviction he has in just trying to knock you out, right? But yeah, he's willing to miss. And that's another thing I love about Pacquiao. So many fighters are so scared to miss, right? Pacquiao's willing to miss, willing to put himself on the line to try and knock this guy out. And you don't find fighters like this, right? So you see he's just trying to run him into the left hand, right? Because the left hand is his power shot, right? So this is actually very high level intelligent boxing, right? But you need a level of like grit and like conviction to pull this off. See, he's just rolling the guy into his left hand. And he just wants to keep whacking him with power left shots until the guy gives up, right? Pacquiao's always willing to take punches. He's always willing to take punches until he takes too much, and he's like, okay, maybe I should box again, right? But he'll come back with the ons because he wants to knock you out. And this is something I think is missing in a lot of fighters. They're not willing to knock you out. They're not hungry enough to knock you out. They're not willing to knock you out. And this is what I loved about Pacquiao. It's so refreshing to see a guy almost like basically mini Mike Tyson, right? Just coming in here, and his whole goal is just to knock you out. He doesn't want points. He doesn't want to get to 12 end of 12 rounds. He wants to put you on the canvas, right? And this is 120 pounds, right? Nobody at 120 pounds wants to fight a guy who wants to knock you out. That's a nightmare, right? Because you're so used to getting hit with like not soft punches, but not you know, trying to put you on the floor punches, right? It's more boxing, high speed boxing, right? But Pacquiao wants to. He's a baby Mike Tyson, many Mike Tyson here. All right. So again, I mean, as you can see, the whole round, all Pacquiao's trying to do is run this boy into his left hand, all right? And it works. It works. He got away with. I mean, he puts him down, right? He knocks him out. He got away with it, you know. So I'm gonna show you Marquez II, and then Marquez II, Pacquiao actually improves because really, I mean, exciting to watch, right? This little onslaught of let me make sure you run into as many left hands as possible, right? But what I love about Pacquiao again too is that, and any great fighter, so to be a GOAT, you got to be willing to improve and constantly improve, right? And this is what Pacquiao does. He constantly improves, and he's like, you know what? Maybe I could run into my right hook. You know what I'm saying, right? So Marquez II, he kind of develops more of a right hook, which makes him a more complete fighter. Okay, so let's check that out. All right, so Pacquiao Marquez, fight 2, round 6. Okay, all right. So this is one. I mean, the first Marquez Pacquiao fight was pretty great, right? But I find out was a little bit, it's more or less the same as Ledwaba. Shoot, did I say his name right? Wrong. Anyways, so right. So the first fight against Marquez was a little bit too ready for that, So Marquez is one of these fighters that can do everything, and so if he could prepare for you, right? More likely than not, he's gonna basically get away with it and make it a very tough fight for you, right? He's a very, very prepared fighter, right? So, and that's different than a lot of these cats who just kind of come out and they don't care who they're fighting. They're just basically trying to make sure they're the best that they can be, right? No, Marquez is gonna prepare exactly for you, right? And so that first Manny Pacquiao Marquez fight, I mean, was exciting to watch, but it was a bit of a wash for me because Marquez is just too, I don't know, he's too savvy, right? So why I like this fight here, right, is that Pacquiao gets better, right? He adds more tools to the toolbox, and so Marquez wasn't really ready for those, special kind of tools. You know what I'm saying, right? Specifically the right hook, a little bit more fluidity in the body shots and all of that, right? So we're gonna watch round 6, right? This wasn't a very exciting fight. More turns up around these rounds here, right? But round 6, so you see a calmer Pacquiao. This is what I'm saying. He improved a little bit calmer. So he's trying to trap. The Pacquiao trap, right? Hey, I'm boxing with you, right? I'm boxing with you, all right? But he's added head movement. So Pacquiao's added a right hook and he's added some head movement to his game now, okay? But a little bit smarter head movement. He's actually trying not to get hit, right? Not just running into punches, right? So Pacquiao adds enough tools. Remember, I told you he could box, right? Pacquiao could always box. He's a very smart fighter. He knows how to set you up into punches, right? And that's his base, right? Pacquiao's base is, I'm going to run into my big punch over and over again until you fall, okay? So when he added these tools, basically that's still his base, but now he's added more boxing skills, boxing levels, where he's like, you know what? I could jab and punch with you, right? I could exchange jabs with you. I could make you miss, right? I can make you too eager to hit me, right? So he's added these tools, but to complement what he does best, which is run you into punches. Right, and that's basically what he's trying to do. But now he could take his time because he has more boxing tools. Okay, so a massive improvement for Pacquiao. And when I said GOATs have to improve, right? You can be talented, uberly talented when you start, right? But at the end of the day, you're gonna have to improve. You're gonna have to be able to beat fighters like Marquez, right? So that's what Pacquiao does. All right, so Pacquiao's getting beat up a bit, but remember what I said. Marquez is ready for you. Marquez knows exactly what he wants to do, when he wants to do it, and he's fighting on the script, right? To beat Marquez, you gotta rip up the script, and Pacquiao knows that, so he's gonna have to take chances, but he has to know when to take those chances. He has to know when to take those chances, and he has to be ready for Marquez to try and put this thing back on script. Okay, so I like round 6 because it shows you, yep, this is the exact one to show you what Pacquiao can do now, which is this little head movement thing, control the pace of the fight a little bit better, right? Walk his opponent down a little bit smarter without running into punches. Nice little body shot underneath the punch. He added that. What I said, he added some body shots. His jab is a bit cleaner, right? His movement, he doesn't have to rely on that Pacquiao footwork that I told you about as much, right? So he could conserve more energy. He can make the guy miss, set up to the body now. He's added a lot more tools. Marquez, I don't think he was ready for this dramatic improvement. So one thing that makes Pacquiao stand out is his level of work outside the ring. Okay, he puts in so much work outside the ring. You can't really be prepared for Pacquiao because to be honest, by the time his fight camp is done, it's a totally different fighter. He's probably he's trained so much. He's ready for. He probably has a new skill to try it on you, right? You see, he added that little right hook, check right hook. This is a totally different fighter than Ledwaba, right? Totally different fighter than who Marquez fought the first time. And so Marquez is in a bit of trouble here, but Marquez is a very savvy, smart fighter. And remember, the base of Pacquiao never changes, right? At the end of the day, Pacquiao's gonna want to whack you with enough left hands until you basically give up. Okay, so round 6, obviously a slower round. I know this fight is probably less exciting than the first Marquez fight, but you gotta see the evolution of a fighter, right? You gotta see how these guys become goats, okay? Like Pacquiao, how Pacquiao's becoming a goat right now. Okay, so this fight was such a pivotal moment for him because Marquez taught him a lot. Marquez taught him a lot about boxing, right? A lot about being smart, a lot about having basically different tools in the toolbox, And so for a lot of you fighters out there, you want to rely on that one tool, Wilder, okay? Right? No, you gotta add tools to your toolbox. That's how you become a great. That's how you become a GOAT, okay? All right, so let's watch another round. One more round here. Round 7. Pacquiao versus Marquez II. Okay, let me more deeply analyze this fight for you. Right, so they're both jockeying for what I call southpaw position. Right, Marquez knows he wants to circle off from the left hand of Pacquiao and basically take Pacquiao's timing off rhythm. Don't let Pacquiao get into rhythm. Okay, very important because remember Pacquiao likes to rely on this rhythmic footwork, Pacquiao footwork, to really start to cause problems for you and your timing problems for you, right? Like this, right? You don't want Pacquiao to start to get into rhythm. Marquez knows that, and he's really trying to upset Pacquiao's rhythm. Pacquiao's kind of bouncing in and out, right? So you see he attacks to make sure Pacquiao can't really do that bounce in and out off his punches, okay? Pacquiao's trying to turn up the heat now, okay? Because he knows he's probably falling behind on these scorecards, right? They're fighting at Marquez's pace. Pacquiao has to fight at a higher pace because that's how Pacquiao wins fights, right? Fighting at a pace that the other opponent can't. Well, no opponent could ever really keep up at, right? So Marquez is doing very smart things here, just trying to circle away from that left hand. That's a dangerous hand. That's the hand Pacquiao really wants to run you into. At the end of the day, he's using his jab and he's using hooks. A little headbutt. It's alright, Kenny. Alright, a little headbutt. This was for me, a big part of the fight, right? Cause this little blood thing here, you got it right over the left right eye. You gotta be able to see against Pacquiao, right? Just because he throws from such awkward angles, right? This cut is a big bother, right? And it really opened up this fight for me in terms of in Pacquiao's favor, right? And you see Pacquiao is obviously already taking advantage of this, right? Okay, so do you see Pacquiao's back in rhythm now? You don't want Pacquiao firing from here if you're Marquez, right? Because Pacquiao's not gonna quit. He's not gonna quit. Once he smells blood, he's not gonna quit, right? And once he gets into rhythm, this Pacquiao footwork is a different story. It's so hard to time him because you don't know if he's coming in, so you get tight, right? You get tight, and then once you get tight, he comes in, right? And then you can't pull the trigger fast enough. Okay, so Marquez is trying to get back to the game plan of circling. I'm telling you, that cut changed this whole fight into Pacquiao's favor, right? Because I think he's having trouble seeing around that way, right? So he doesn't really want to circle two left now because he wants to be able to see him, right? So Pacquiao is really taking advantage with Marquez kind of straight lining on him, right? And trying to walk him into this left hand. But Marquez is still a smart fighter, so he's not going to walk into these left hands. He's not going to let Pacquiao run him into those left hands. He's just trying to control Pacquiao, okay? All right, so this is all I wanted to show you with Marquez Pacquiao 2. It's a little bit less of an exciting fight, right? It's a bit more boring, but it's much more technical. And this is the evolution of Pacquiao. Can you imagine from Ledwaba where he's just basically you guys seen it what I just showed you, right? He's just basically trying to run into this left hand over and over again. That's all he's trying to do, but he's doing it smartly, right? With his Pacquiao footwork. And then now Marquez Pacquiao 2, he doesn't have to use that footwork. He's not a one-dimensional fighter anymore. He's a multi-dimensional fighter that can actually box with somebody at the level of Marquez's skill. Okay, that's a dramatic improvement. It's hard to see if you don't have that boxing eye, but it's a dramatic improvement. He has head movement now. He has his jab. He knows how to use his jab in different ways now instead of just setting you up for that left hand. He could box going left and going right now. He doesn't have to just circle you into that left hand, right? He could set you up in terms of pulling you in. Really nice addition. He has a right hand to the he has a right hook now. He has a body shot. He could set you up to the body now. A lot of tools he just added in a couple of years, and that's what makes him one of the GOATs. Okay, so let's watch one more fight. Okay, one more fight, the Diaz fight. This is when, for me, Pacquiao. This is when I saw Pacquiao was a GOAT. To be honest, I mean, he didn't have to do anything else after this Diaz fight for me, because I'm like, I've never seen anything like this. You know, I was a Pacquiao fan, but I'm like, I didn't see this coming, right? And then after that, he obviously ran to the welterweight division like nobody's business, you know what I'm saying? And then obviously, you know, we saw the Mayweather thing, whatever, right? But really to understand Pacquiao, I think like it's these three phases of his career. Okay, so let's watch this Diaz fight. All right, Pacquiao versus Diaz. This is for the lightweight championship. All right. Okay, so at this point, right, so that Marquez fight, sorry, I forgot to tell you, that was, I think, featherweight. Okay, so at this point, Pacquiao's basically jumped, I don't even know, like 2 weight classes or so, 3 weight classes, 4. All right, but he's not supposed to be in this weight class. That's the main point, guys. He's not supposed to be in this weight class. He's not. You don't do this. You don't start from bantam and get into lightweight. Okay. All right. He's not supposed to be here, guys. Okay. So, and Diaz is a champ. Boy's been ducking. I'm telling you, like, guys didn't really want to fight Diaz. He wasn't a fighter you wanted to fight. Okay. So, I mean, this is the last round of Diaz versus Pacquiao. This is the round when he basically knocks out Diaz, right? He's already basically beating him up, right? I'm telling you, Marquez taught him Pacquiao so much about boxing. Pacquiao didn't even really need to get hit in this fight to beat this guy up. So this is when I saw Pacquiao do this to Diaz, that was it, man. I'm like, this boy is different. He's different. You're not supposed to be doing this. All right, so let's just watch the fight, okay? I'll do a bit of analysis, but I think we just need to appreciate, again, the amount of skills that he's added, the skills he's refined just to become from what we saw with Ledwaba, that first fight that I showed you, to now, right, at lightweight, okay? All right. So Diaz is already beat, but look at this difference in size. Look at the size of Diaz versus Pacquiao. Like, you're not supposed to be fighting a guy this big at this level, right? I'm beating him up like this, okay? So the thing with Diaz, though, he's oops, let me pause and tell you guys this. All right, so you fighters out there, right? Diaz is a one-dimensional fighter, all right? So he's big body hook guy, get your head in your chest, box a bit, but like really trying to beat you up with a lot of inside fighting, okay? One-dimensional fights, you can only go so far. That's all I'm gonna say. All right, let's go. All right, so I love Diaz that he's fighting, which is great because a lot of fighters at this point would just shy away and basically give up, try and survive the rounds. Diaz is fighting, so when you fight, you're gonna get hit, right? And I love that Diaz is accepting that risk. Okay, but Pacquiao, his boxing levels is so much higher. Like he's blocking now. He's blocking punches now. He's reading punches. He's seeing punches coming, right? He's picking his shots, right? Look how calm he is. He's seeing the punches. Wait, sorry, I'm probably talking too fast. All right, so what I mean about he's seeing the shots is that look where he like just touches the head. I don't know how else to say it, right? Let me show it again, right? He's keeping his eyes on his opponent. Look at his eyes focused on his opponent, right? And he's just gonna touch him back, right? And he keeps his eyes on the point. You see how he just slides off that and just touches the head over the top? You see that? That's what I mean. Like, this is not old Pacquiao. He's in balance. He doesn't have to bounce to land these shots anymore. He's a lot more precise. He's added precision to his game. Like, he didn't even have that against Marquez. This is what I'm saying. This guy just kept getting better. And that's one. Remember I said at the first fight, this is one thing that I wish he had, and he's added it. He's worked so hard to add precision to his punches, and this is not easy to do, right? So this is what he's added to this game now. Okay, now he could just pick his shots. See, and this is the next thing I'm saying. He's blocking, but what I mean about blocking is that he knows he can read the next punch now, right? See, he feints, he rolls this punch with a hook because he knew to come over the top, right, with that right hook, right? And then he knows that the next hook is coming. Like, this is such a crazy improvement from a reckless fighter. Okay, a fighter that was throwing balls to the walls, to say, you know what I mean? Like, and now he's like, he could see the whole fight game, right? Like, this is incredible, and this is why he's a GOAT. Now, once he could see the fight game against high caliber level opponents, that's when he become a GOAT. Okay, he can see the game, and he hasn't changed much. Like, he's still running into big shots until you fall, right? But he could see the game. Okay, that's beautiful boxing. Look, he's just picking his shots, right? Working his hands. He doesn't need to. So look at that. This is a new Pacquiao. He misses the shot. Okay, he doesn't get hit back, but he doesn't have to get hit back to learn. He readjusts. He's like, you know what? Let me get that right the next time. All right, this is a different Pacquiao, I'm telling you. All right, look at that. He's reading these punches better. Okay, he's using his body weight now. He's learned how to use his body weight against bigger opponents, right? To wear a guy down, to like set up his next punches, right? To feel the guy out, right? To feel if he's tired or not. To feel where is his opponent at in terms of this fight game, you know what I mean? In terms of this fight. This is what Pacquiao's doing now. Another tool to his box. All right, this is how you become a GOAT. This is how you become a GOAT, guys. All right, I'm telling you, this was the most impressive. To me, this was the most impressive Pacquiao fight I've ever seen. All right, out of all the other ones I know, over Cotto, over all those fights, Margarito, this was the most impressive fight. Look how he's feeling out the distance on punches now. He's not running in. Look, he doesn't have to make no big movements. He's just feeling look how he felt that punch just pass his nose and pushes one over the top, two over the top. This is a different level, man. And look, he still has his Pacquiao footwork to bounce in and out on the guy. So when he's ready to finish you, he can use that footwork to finish you. Right? He added the right hook. Let me show. I gotta show you the improvements so that you guys could respect and understand boxing and understand how these guys become GOATs. All right? You don't just you're not born a GOAT. Okay? Right? You add things. You gotta improve. Add things to your game. Look at this. Pacquiao never had this. He never had this right hook over the top. Now he has it. Remember, he was mini Mike Tyson. Now this boy is calculated. Now this boy's Pacquiao. Look how he runs a guy into his left hand without having to throw the. Guys, honestly, you need to see this perfectly. Look how remember before to land his left hand, he had to throw the jab to run you into the left hand. He doesn't have to do that anymore. He could read it. Look at that. He could read it. He could throw. He just has to throw the left hand now. He could read it now, right? And then he could go back to his bread and butter, right? Jab, throw you into the right hand, right? Look how he added that body shot, hook, jab, body shot, right? You see, using his body weight to tie the guy up, put some weight on the guy, tire him out, feel his arms, know where he's at if he really wants to fight still. Okay? He's just pouring it on, and he can pour it on without hyper pressure, without being too hyper, right? He's just boxing, pouring it on. This is a high level boxing. I mean, you can put pressure on a guy just by boxing, right? Bread and butter, right? Run the guy into your left hand, right? Remember that one? I told you my boy never changed. He never switched up. He just added to his toolbox, yo. His bread and butter. Remember this one? Jab, run you into my left hand. All she wrote until you can't take anymore. Shoot, man. Yep, that was it, man. And this is the tough part about boxing when a guy gets hurt like that, right? But Diaz is a tough boy, so he'll be okay. Alright? And Pacquiao got respect, yo. Alright, so again, Pacquiao, one of my goats, one of my favorite fighters of all time. My favorite fighter of all time, right? I have a few, but this boy is on top of them all. Okay, why? The way he moved up in weights. Okay, the way he added to his toolbox. Right, but most importantly, the thing inside him, man. The thing that he had from the get go, right? His fuel, his hunger. He wants to fight. You hear that? Some of you guys, he wants to fight. He wants to, he's willing to throw his body, his head on the line to knock you out. He wants to knock you out. Okay? This is well, I know Pacquiao now doesn't want to knock you out. But this is what made Pacquiao great. He wants to knock you out. He's not a fighter looking for, oh, did I win the decision after 12? No. He wants to knock you out. Okay? He has his bread and butter. He knows how to set you up into the knockout because he has conviction. He believes in himself. He believes that he can knock you out, and he's going to do it. Okay? He adds things to his toolbox. He works so hard to perfect new tools. Okay? He doesn't just add them and does a half-ass. You know what I'm saying? He actually works on perfecting it so that he can use it perfectly and get better and better at it. Right? Did you see that right hook? Did you see how he set up his left hand without throwing at his right? Did you see his head movement? Much cleaner. Did you see how he's measuring how far away he is from his opponent? Did you see him using his body weight against a bigger opponent? So this is what you gotta do to become a GOAT. It's work. And this is why I love Pacquiao. He works. He works outside the ring. And then he delivers inside the ring. Right? He doesn't short you. Right? He leaves all on the line in the ring. He uses every single thing that he got. Right? GOAT. My number one GOAT. Maybe you guys have other GOATs. This is my number one GOAT. Okay? I'll always pick heart over skill. Alright. So that's a GOAT series, right? Watch out for the next one. Okay? Peace.